Guys, it's Seda here, Gourmet Next Door, and today I have a super amazing recipe for you. We're going to be making börek. Börek obviously is the traditional Turkish pastry, and you can use different type of fillings in it. So today I'm going to be actually also making the dough from scratch, which is super easy. I'm going to share with you in 1 second. And we're gonna try different types of fillings because I'm trying to really modernize the Turkish börek. So I'm really intrigued to hear about your views. So with that, let's get cooking. So the first thing we're gonna use is 1 egg. We're gonna crack the egg into our bowl. And then just pick a water glass, okay? It doesn't matter. I mean, it should be around 200-250 ml, but the shape doesn't really matter, okay? Just make sure you use the same glass to measure the flour and the milk. So, into this, I'm gonna add 1 glass worth of milk. So I'm gonna show you how so let's say if I'm gonna use this measure for the milk, I'm gonna use the same for the flour, okay? Just make sure you stick to the same measurement. So, this much. So 1 glass, 1 bardak worth of milk. That goes in. And make sure your milk is room temperature and your egg as well. When you're making any kind of dough, make sure they're all room temperature. Now, since the other one is milky, I changed the glasses because it would stick all over the glass. So now, let's measure out. I'm using all-purpose flour here. You know, this börek is one of those recipes I grew up with, and it just reminds me of home, reminds me of our breakfast with the family, and it just has such a beautiful flavor and an amazing taste. So I was craving it, and I said, what the heck, let's make it. A little bit more, if you remember my milk measure. You see? It's the same, maybe a little bit less, yeah? So, we just have to make sure we stick to the same measurement as we had in the milk. Now, before we put in the flour, let's go ahead and make sure we break the egg yolk. Now, before I add the flour, I'm gonna add the salt. So, I'm using a small tablespoon. We call it tatlı kaşık. It's like a dessert spoon, okay? And I'm gonna put about half, okay? We want this dough to have flavor, so sometimes you have the dough but it has no salt, and honestly it lacks in flavor. So just make sure you salt it enough but not too much that it overtakes everything else. So now also with the salt we mix it, and now let's go ahead and add our beautiful flour. Guys, I think it's too early in the morning because I totally screwed up the measurement. So let's do this again. You put 1 egg, 1 cup of milk, and we're gonna need 2.5 cups of flour. So remember, I already put 1. So let's go ahead and add our next 1.5 cups. Now we are ready to make our doughy dough. So I love playing with my food, yeah? So let's go ahead and mix this dough. You know, and anyway, the dough will tell you, you know, when you need to add more liquid or dry ingredients, the dough will tell you. The dough has no shame. It will talk to you and tell you what you need to change. Guys, you see the dough is very sticky, so this means we need to add more flour, right? I mean, there is a measurement, but you also need to kind of eyeball it as you go along. So I'm gonna put 1 more handful, because you know it also depends on the size of your egg. So my egg apparently was a bit too big, so it generated more humidity in the dough, okay? So I think we're almost there. I still have a little bit stickage, you like my word. So that's it, that's my last flour addition. Yeah, we need the dough to be soft but not sticky. I think we're getting there now. So guys, now I'm going to transfer this onto my counter. Okay, because I think it will be a lot easier to knead here. Yeah, so you see, I put some flour also on the bench, so I'm kind of, you know, going around, and yeah, you see now there's no stickage anymore. Let me move this so you can see. Can you see? Yes, okay, here. You see, there's no stickage. It's a beautiful, very nice dough. So let's knead it for, the dough needs a good massage. Yeah? Let's knead it for a good 3-4 minutes, okay? Borek is one of those heartwarming recipes, you know? It's comfort food at its best. Makes you feel better. You want to be somewhat gentle with the dough, you know? You don't want to put all your body weight. Just make sure you're kind of being nice and gentle and giving this guy a beautiful massage. You see how beautiful my dough is? It's soft, you know, it's bouncy. So now let's make a little ball, okay? Now guys, I want you to see this, so let me move my dough here. Yeah. So now we are done with the messy part, let's say. So now I'm gonna make 10 equal pieces of this. Okay, so let's do like first, I'm gonna cut it in half like this. Okay, cut it in half like this. Perfect. Then let's make 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now what we're gonna do is we will just kind of make them little balls, okay? On the surface, let's do a little bit more flour, and then we're gonna rest these babies, yeah? Because the dough has to rest. It's been through a lot with the kneading. Now guys, we take a clean kitchen, beautiful kitchen towel, and we're gonna cover these babies for about 15 minutes. I'll see you back here. Okay guys, so it's been about 15 minutes. I made myself a nice cup of coffee because it's Sunday after all. Now my dough has rested and we're moving on to the next step, which is super exciting. So for this phase, you're gonna need one of these babies. Kung Fu Panda. You're gonna need one of these. We're gonna need half a cup of sunflower oil, and you need a clean, beautiful plate, okay? Because what we're gonna do, and actually I will put the plate here, is we're gonna roll out the dough for each of these 10 pieces, and we're going to stack them with oil in between on this plate, and we're gonna rest the dough again. So before we do anything, I'm just gonna move my dough here to this part of the counter. And it's essential, guys, you cover it with your towel because the dough will dry, okay? Especially in my house, I have AC going on, so tuck in the little dough. And now, let's work this baby, okay? Beautiful. So, I hope you can see here. So we're gonna do like this and you turn it, okay? This is the key to having a perfectly shaped dough. If it sticks a little bit, it's all right. Just bring it back to center, okay? Guys, this part doesn't really need to be perfect, okay? If you can do a perfect circle, great for you. My shapes are a little bit weird, but ultimately, you're gonna see, we're gonna open up the dough. So as long as you can open it up, it's okay. What you need to make sure is you kind of go even, right? You don't want some areas thicker than other areas. So as long as you are doing it like that, it's perfect. Okay, so this one is done. So this one, I'm gonna go ahead and move it. I'll take this piece and I'll move this here to to the side. Okay, we just have to make sure we cover it. Guys, we are finished with rolling our doughs. Now it's time to stack them, okay? So we take our plate here. I'm gonna put a little bit oil at the bottom so the first one doesn't stick. And here, what I would recommend you to do is to start with your dough that you rolled last. So when you are opening up the dough to fill it, your first one will be the last one, if that makes sense. So our plate is fully greased. Now we're gonna take our dough, we put it like this, okay? And now it is critical we oil every part of this dough, okay? Do not leave any part dry because then you can have sticking problem. Now we go on to the next one. Now, the next one you don't put right on top. We're gonna sort of put it, you know, a little bit differently so they're not fully on top of each other, okay? Oil, more. All right, the last one. Now this one we're gonna liberally oil because it's the last layer. And we gotta make sure that it stays nice and moist on top, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and put it all, yeah? Because we want the top, as I said, very nice and moist, so we don't have any stickage. Guys, now our Borek is all nice and oiled. It's ready to be waiting at room temperature. So what you're gonna do is take a clean plastic bag, okay? And just close it, you know, kind of like this. And we're gonna keep it here for about 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, we're gonna meet up so I can tell you all about the delicious fillings that we're gonna use to modernize this Borek. Guys, in the meantime, let me tell you about my delicious fillings. So, this first one is a sweet potato, red onion, and rosemary, okay, combination. So I cooked the sweet potato, I grated it, and I cooked it with a little olive oil, just on the pan. And then I added some, and then I took it out. Then I sauteed some red onions, and I put some rosemary, and I mixed the two. A little salt, okay? And that's it. You want the fillings to be cold, and you want them cooked, yeah? So whatever you're gonna put in Borek, you know, I actually pre-cooked everything. So this is the sweet potato one. Then I am going to make this beauty, which is inspired by Italy, my trip to Sicily at the time. So here I have cubed eggplant. It's basically air fried, delicious. And then I have some red tomato sauce. I basically reduced down the tomato sauce so it's nice and pulpy. And we're gonna add some ricotta. So this is actually inspired by the pasta alla norma, which is very Sicilian. It was delicious, and I want to bring that flavor profile to the Borek. So this is my second filling. Guys, and the third filling is gonna be very experimental. So I love a combination of brie cheese with cranberries or any kind of jam. And then I'm gonna add some walnuts. So it's gonna be a more sweet savory combination. I've never seen it in Borek, so why not try it, right? I'm here to modernize the Borek. This is my mission. So that is my third filling. And then of course I have the most typical filling, which is feta cheese with parsley. This is a classic, and I gotta make a classic as well. So this is my classic take, and then the other three are definitely very experimental. Okay guys, so it's been about 25 minutes. I'm gonna start now making the Borek. So the first thing is we're gonna go ahead and turn on the oven. So we want 210 degree. We want to preheat the oven. So by the time I'm done with the Borek, it will be ready to go and bake. So get your tray. I'm using a sheet pan for this. Now we want to make sure we liberally oil the bottom so we don't have any sticking happening. So here I'm using olive oil, but feel free if you want to use vegetable oil like canola. Guys, after I oil the pan, I'm gonna go ahead and put some sesame seeds. Sesame seeds obviously will give a lot of crunch to the börek, but also it gives a really nice flavor. So that's for the bottom. And now I'm gonna go ahead and park this. Okay guys, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put our dough, and now we are going to stretch it. You know, just pull the sides and pull the dough, okay? Don't be scared. It's going to open up beautifully, you see here. So just go ahead and stretch your dough. Now the more you rest it, the better it might open up. Okay, so for this first one, I'm going to go ahead and do the feta, the classic one. I want a lot of filling, so I'm loading it up, okay? The worst is you order börek and there's like barely any filling in it. So now, we are ready. So what I want to do is, I'm going to roll this over, you see, like this. Okay? And then, very gently, just roll it. Very gently. Alright? Gently. We roll it. Beautiful. Now, once you have this snake-looking thing, you want to just turn it. What I do is, I will push right hand up and left hand down. So this gives it a really nice texture. Now, we are going to, not too tight, okay? So, you take this, let's bring it to the pan, so I can show you here. So, we put this here, right? Then, like this. Very nice. Beautiful! So guys, this one, I'm going to do the sweet potato mixture. So let's go ahead and put our filling. It's very delicate, so you want to be patient with this step, okay? You just kind of roll it. Don't worry, there's little holes here and there. The dough will just fix itself, okay? Like this. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's it. So now I take it. I do the same thing, okay? Just go around. So now, let's go ahead and make our shape here. Guys, you want to allow air circulation. So can you see how I'm putting it? So now let's move on to the eggplant, tomato and ricotta version. So very gently, I'm picking up my dough. So let's take some eggplant. And let's take a little tomato. And then, little ricotta. You see, I'm kind of layering it in like this, like this, like this. Let's go ahead and give this guy a little blankie. Okay, the dough is very delicate, so you want to go gentle with it. Now let's roll it. Now is the very experimental one, which is the brie one. So I'll go ahead and grab my dough, put it on the counter. So let's stretch it. Stretch it. Stretch it. So for the brie one, let's go ahead and first add our delicious cranberry. Okay, so you can use any kind of jam for this as long as it goes with brie. kind of soft cheese. Now, if you don't have brie, you can use goat cheese. Now for the brie. I love brie cheese because it's so nice and creamy. And brie, obviously, you can eat the rind. So, actually what I want to do is like small pieces. Okay, like this. And this is for me. And now some walnuts. Walnuts are gonna give us some crunch. Now we're ready to roll. So let's close this beautiful baby up. Okay, and very lightly, I want to be able to move it. Yeah, unroll it. Now it's okay. If the dough has some holes, just push it in and move it along, okay? That's it. Don't let it get to you, yeah? You have to teach the dough who's the boss. Okay, slowly, slowly, guys. Slowly, slowly. You gotta be patient, especially with this filling. Cannot rush it, okay? Beautiful, beautiful. So I take it, I do the same trick. Okay, little cranberry sticking out, that's okay. I take this now, put it in my... Guys, I want to show you this. So this is the one with the feta cheese and parsley. This is the one with the eggplant and ricotta and tomato. This is the one with sweet potato, rosemary, and red onion. And this is the sweet bomb, which is brie, cranberry, and walnuts. So I'm just gonna brush little oil on these. I'm just gonna brush the top with oil so we get that brown, beautiful color. And they're ready to bake as I make the other batch. Okay. Beautiful. Now if you want, you can go ahead and put some like black sesame seeds. I love it on the feta borek. So I will add some of that. That's my beautiful one. This one no, this one no, this one no. Maybe we can add some sesame seeds on top of these. That would be really nice. That's it. So guys, now I'm gonna go ahead and bake this at 210-degree preheated oven for about 45 minutes. Guys, so the borek are cooked. I want to show you here. I took them out of the oven after about 35 minutes because my oven's pretty strong. And I let them cool, yeah? You want to make sure there's enough air so they don't lose their crunchiness. So first, I'm going to cut into my feta cheese one. And I want you to listen. Listen to the crunch. Yummo! So, this is the first piece I'm going to try. You know I'm going to try all of them, so now I'm going to put my feta cheese one on the plate. Now let's move on to the next one. The next one I think I'm going to go into is the eggplant one with the ricotta and the tomato. So this is pasta alla norma inspired one. And let's go in and give it a cut. Listen. Guys, I just want to show you. Look at how beautiful this looks with the eggplant and the tomato and the ricotta. I'm definitely taking a bigger piece of this. And then let's move on to the sweet potato one. Are we ready to listen? I look at the inside of the sweet potato one. Delicious. Remember, it's rosemary, sweet potato, and red onion. And remember, it's sweet potato, red onion, and rosemary. Now, tell me this doesn't look like a Danish. It looks like a Danish. And this is the sweet one. So, are you ready to listen? delicioso. And obviously the cranberry kind of leaked out of the Borek, and it made a delicious little caramelization happening. So there's brie. So there's brie in here, remember, cranberry and walnuts. Guys, look at this delicious modern twist on Borek. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the classic. I gotta taste what it tastes. I gotta taste what it tastes like. Now listen to the crunch. So good. It is absolutely delicious. It takes a bit of time, but honestly, it's not difficult. You can do it. Thanks for watching. Give this recipe a try and let me know how it goes. Ciao, ciao. Have a great Sunday.